Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Doris, and this channel is about spirituality, self-love, and shifting your mindset so you can be your authentic self. Please be sure to subscribe so we can stay connected. Hi everyone, and welcome to 2025, a brand new year full of possibilities. As we step into a fresh new chapter of life, I felt called to share something meaningful: time. We've all heard the phrases such as time heals all wounds or time waits for no one. But today I wanted to focus on a whole completely different perspective, that grace of slow and steady wins the race. Today I'll be embracing a few practices such as patience and persistence can lead to true growth and lasting change. Let me start with this. What may seem like an ordinary graduation card was actually a message that was sent from God to me. Stay with me on this. While I was living in Los Angeles, I purchased this vintage secretary desk, and while I was cleaning it, I discovered the card tucked in a few slots above the desk frame. And I've shared this story before on previous videos, but nothing in this context. So the first lesson I had to learn when I was in LA was patience. Aware of this, I wrote it on the back of the card: have patience. At that time, I didn't fully understand what God was teaching me in this whole experience and adventure of my life. All I knew was that I wanted to go back home. I wanted to go back home immediately. But there was a few things that I had to overcome and a few obstacles blocking me from getting home that I couldn't get myself out of. But God was orchestrating everything in my favor. Shortly after writing those words, I began to see God moving things in my life. Events and opportunities started to align in ways that I couldn't anticipate, and it just was like, wow, okay. I wrote on the back of the card after I started seeing this stuff happen: God is working. The truth echoes in the Bible. You can see it in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, where it states, "And we know that all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." So there was obviously a purpose of me being in LA. I had to release and learn some lessons. So after 3 weeks later, I was having a casual conversation at an appointment, and the individual unexpectedly said, "You know, God loves you, right?" And that moment stuck so hard with me. And I was like, wow, yeah, God does love me. So I went back home and I added it to the card: God loves you. So for the rest of the week, I just focused on all of these reminders. I was meditating on it and meditating on Bible verses about his love, such as, "For God so loved the world, he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." And that's in John chapter 3, verse 16. Finally, as the journey of patience stretched longer than I wanted, I started to sense change was near. I can't describe it, but when you know, right? And I started just to pack things. And I started living out of boxes for about a week, preparing for God's timing, because I felt it deep down in my core that it was time. So on week 4, I wrote on the back of the card, "My prayers have been answered." And indeed, they were. I wasn't released on my schedule, but on God's perfect timing. Looking back, if I would have been released, let's say on the first week, I would have missed all the other lessons that he was teaching me in that time. When paired with God's guidance, it could be the greatest teacher if we're just willing to trust and surrender to the process. And in that moment when I was in Los Angeles, I had no other choice. I had to trust and I had to surrender to this process because it was leading to something bigger than me. So just remember, patience teaches us the things worth having, often time. It allows us to pause, reflect, and adjust, creating space for clarity and intentions to guide our actions. At the same time, persistence acts as the fuel that keeps us moving forward, even when progress feels slow or obstacles seem impossible. It's that quiet determination to show up and to push through these challenges and to hold on to the belief that what lies ahead is possible. True growth isn't about how fast you get there. We've all heard that before. It's about the journey, the lessons you learn, and the strength you build, and the transformation that takes place along the way. Together, patience and persistence forms a powerful pair. And as I always tell you, you are powerful. So as you step into this new year, remember, slow and steady doesn't just win the race. It shapes the person you are becoming. I trust this week's episode has been beneficial for you. Thank you for tuning in. If anyone is interested in collaborating, please don't hesitate to send me a message. You can find my contact details below. And until we meet next time, remember to always stay glamorous.